Thank you for watching Philippine Korean Singlim TV. In this video, I'm gonna talk about how my life path have been changed after beginning to learn English. 이번 영상에서는 한국말로 하면은 좀 부끄러우니까 그냥 영어로 진행을 할게요. I went to Philippines and I enrolled a private English academy called Ahagwon in 2012. The idea of this is simply to teach English for Koreans with Filipino and English native teachers. Since then, I stayed in the Philippines until 2020. 9 years overall. If you want to know more about me, please click the card above or click the link below. Well, I'm not certainly a successful person, unlike you have seen lots of people in this YouTube. They are really amazing, but I'm not. The reason why I create this video is I just wanted to let people know, especially the youth, that selecting one simple goal and simply pursuing for it, it can change the one's life. Well, of course, you don't have to seriously listen to me. Just sit back and relax. That's the life that he has been through. I see. Just something like that will be very enough. I'm grateful anyway because you are spending your precious time for me to watch my video. Thank you. Before I started learning English, my life was kinda useless. I graduated middle and high school in Korea. My grades were completely sucked for whole of my middle and high school life. Then after I enrolled the college with major in mechanical car engineering. However, it sucked as well. In the middle of my college life, I quit it and joined Korean military army. Back then, for whole of my school life, I wasn't completely interested in studying or school life something. I rather loved to play computer games. Counter-Strike, MapleStory, Gelsang, etc. Well, I will let you know how much I was into playing games. In MapleStory, I achieved the max level of 200 on March 2009. I was the top 2 bow master within the server. Aside from that, I was a guild master, which was quite famous within the server. I may say my guild was top 3 in the server. Well, I should conclude that my life was useless without online games. Even after I got out from the military service, I was 21 by then, I still loved so much playing online computer games. Let me tell you this. I earned from my part-time job and I spent for online games. No savings at all. One day, my father suggested me to go to the Philippines to start learning English. He was certainly depressed on me. I was quite disappointing boy for him. So, I obeyed his opinion. I flew to the Philippines on January 2012. To be honest, I hated it. I hated learning English. I hated going to Philippines because Philippines was the only Asia country that allowed to carry a gun. I felt quite scared back then. Well, of course, I was only 22, a little boy. But I fully understood that how much my father depressed on me. So I didn't argue with him, just obeyed. On the first day of Ahagwon, I took the test called level test. In English term, English proficiency test that evaluates my English capability. Well, as you expected, my score was completely dead. It was like a under, beneath, deep into the sea. Deep, 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 rolling in the deep. How bad? I was worse than an elementary student. Remember, I was only an online game boy. English was not my forte. I never expected that I would study English when I was schoolboy. Anyway, what could I do? Nothing, right? So I began studying with the Filipino teachers in one-on-one class. It was fine, although I couldn't speak any of English. The teachers kept encouraging me. It was good. However, my problem began when I entered a group class. The group class was consisted of 3 to 4 Koreans with 1 Filipino teacher inside the classroom. I couldn't speak at all. But the Korean ladies in there spoke very fluent English. That's what I felt that time. You know what? My face turned red. I was very embarrassed. You know, I was only 22, little boy. Imagine how much I blamed myself. Many pretty girls around me, everyone looked at me, but I was so much stupid that couldn't speak any of English. How stupid! I really prayed that I wasn't in there. I really regret that I should have learned English when I was a schoolboy. But I couldn't stop. I couldn't give up. I couldn't go back to Korea. You know that already, right? So, I kept my pace. I continued my learning persistently. Besides, I paid the tuition fee for 3 months in advance anyway. You know, my forte is persistency. When I played online game, I always remained as the first class ranker. In MapleStory, top class. In Counter-Strike or Special Force, top class as well. My kill death rate was over 70%. I studied English very hard like the time that I was into the online games. Firstly, I talked to the manager in Ohagwan that please remove my entire group class schedule and put me only in one-on-one class with Filipino teacher. The manager accepted. Secondly, I studied like a madman. Except my time for sleeping, I only studied English. Homework, memorizing words, analyzing grammars, etc. Spending whole my time for English back then. Within the 3 weeks, I think I memorized 300 English words. I finished up the past, present, and future tenses as well. How was it possible? I never went out, but only studied. I didn't even talk with Koreans, but only study English with Filipino teachers. I avoided speaking Korean. 3 weeks later, I started catching some English words. I could be able to understand the teacher saying somehow. Then I started asking questions in English. It felt fantastic. But of course, my pronunciation was quite bad like other Koreans do. Well, that's normal. We are not English native speakers. We have our own tongue. So, I guess it's acceptable that our English sound is a little bit strange to the natives. By the way, I gained my confidence when I started to be able to understand the Filipino teachers. This resulted me to gain some curiosity about outside of the Ohagwan. I wanted to experience the real Filipino society. Well, I also wanted to practice my English not only to the teachers but to outsiders as well. To be exact, I was quite curious if my English was conversationable. In the fourth week, during the weekends, I enrolled a gym membership with my Korean friends. I started night out with them to Balibago, Angeles City, Pampanga, Philippines. Well, that was freaking heaven. Bars and girls were everywhere. So I practiced my English to the girls in there. Hey, may I buy you a drink? I approached, and it really worked. Hell yeah. A virgin little Korean boy could be able to meet lots of girls by doing that stupid thing. I met a stewardess, teachers, bankers, and also a daughter of the 2-star general. Oh yeah. How was it possible? Well, I guess it was all about confidence. My source of confidence was a desire to practice English. I really approached to anybody in there just to speak English, and people were so hospitable to accept me. If I was in Korea, I would never say like that. I would never gain that kind of confidence. 술 한잔 사드릴까요? To the unknown stranger that I have never seen in my whole life? Oh, hell no. Hell no, I can't do that if I speak my own language. But my strong desire to practice English made this possible. So since then, I became addicted to stay in the Philippines. I became addicted to learn English. And I became addicted to meet people out there and talk with them in English. 3 months later, the time has come for me that I should decide whether to go back to Korea or stay here longer. I decided the latter one. I extended my stay in the Philippines until December. My first plan was only 3 months to stay, but it became 11 months. To be honest, drinking and party were the main reason. Anyway, my English ability was quite improved thanks to drinking and party. Yeah. So in 2013, I had to decide whether I go back to my original course in college, which was mechanical car engineering, or a new start with English. A new start here means I enroll a new course related to English. Honestly, I didn't know what's the best for my future. So what I did was to apply working holiday visa in Australia to buy some time for me to decide for my future. Right after my visa approved, I changed my mind. Alright, I think teaching English could be my forte. Alright, I'm gonna enroll an English education course in the Philippines. Then I enrolled the La Salle University education course major in English. It was 2013. I was 23 years old. My father respected my opinion and he supported me with $5,000. I was able to find some room and pay for my tuition fee. The first 4 to 5 months after enrollment was quite interesting. I realized the real Filipinos culture, like normal Filipino people do not speak fluent English. They prefer to speak Tagalog rather than English. When they talk English, they feel embarrassed like what Koreans do. The textbooks are written in English, not Tagalog. The official papers are all written in English, etc. I realized more about the Filipino society and Filipino culture. I accepted the whole new culture and I embraced and I adapted to it. While doing that, unfortunately, I got a very bad news. My family was financially collapsed. We were bankrupted. I was just 23 little boy. I didn't even have any budget to survive. Couldn't go back to Korea as well. No money in my pocket, nowhere to borrow money. Completely alone. I had no working experience and I was in the foreign country, Philippines. If you were me, what would you do? What I did was to act of survivor. To earn money for my food, I started English tutoring to Koreans with $5 per hour. It was my first time to teach someone, but I could not show my stupidness on my face. Non-professionals will be fired very soon, right? That's the truth. Without this, I had no idea what to do next. I had no idea how to earn money, how to survive in this foreign country. To not to get fired, I prepared my lessons so hard. I memorized more English grammar and words as much as I can. I had no money to buy internet data, so I memorized one whole book. I read and read and read and read again until I memorize. With the knowledge I gained from doing this, I taught my students. I wore myself a poker face that never showing my stupidness, but showing my profession, even it was my first time. Survivor lasted for 6 months. No money saved. All money earned were spent for my food and room rental. 6 months later, luckily I got a chance to earn $1,000 by translating the Rotary Club meeting for 5 days. Being a translator was totally my first time, but I was a man with a poker face. I never showed my stupidness. Rather, I told them, oh, I'm an experienced translator, then acting like a highly experienced one. It worked anyway. Until now, I keep in touch with these Rotary Club members even now, 2020. If you watch this video, I sincerely apologize that I didn't tell you this. It was my first time. Alright. Although I made some good money, $1,000, certainly it was too little money to start with something good. So what I did was to apply an online English tutorial company. It was a startup company with Filipino boss. I was only Korean in the company. I still remember what the Filipino boss said to me. I select and hire you because you always have confidence. I respect that. I was poor, but I never lost my confidence. I never thought of me. I am very into difficult situation. Rather, I always try to find an opportunity myself. To survive in this foreign country, I experienced varieties of jobs. Online English tutorial startup company, binary option salesman, forex related job, tour guide, web cartoon startup company as a general manager, internet business line sales, English Korean translator, English Korean tutor, public school teacher, private international school teacher, call center startup as a general manager, real estate agent, etc. 3 times general manager in my 20th. As you can see it, I experienced really a lot. Terribly a lot. People hired me because I could speak Korean and English. I could be a lure of bridges between their business and Koreans. Alright, thank you for watching Philippine Koreans Min TV. I wish my video is somehow helpful to someone. Alright, thank you and bye-bye.